nobody is more important than the next person. I think it's really funny because, well, it's not funny, but it's really interesting to me because it's like it seems that everybody thinks that they're more important than the next person. So if you're having a conversation with someone, or you're having a conversation with someone in your family or something, you'll find that they compete with you and they want to one up you when you're not even trying to compete. You're just trying to have a good old conversation. Same in public. You have a conversation with the cashier, or the person standing in line behind you or in front of you, or you're waiting in an office for something and you strike up a conversation with somebody, and instantly, since they sense that something about us is different, they instantly feel left out and they want to compensate by one-upping everything. And when I've tried both solutions, where when people try and one-up me and compete during conversation, I've tried to meet them at their level and also tell them that my accomplishments. It just gets worse though. It escalates. People feel even more left out and even more like jealous, I guess. But so now what I do is I just let them win. I don't even try. You know how we're very genuine people. I consider myself a genuine person. So when I talk to people now, I let them win. Okay, I let them make themselves feel more important. I let them, make me feel small. And this is conversations with random people and people in my family where I can just walk away if I have to. But this is what spiritual warfare is where we're not even trying to compete with people, and they think that they're more important than us. And the thing is that I'm not trying to be exclusive to anybody here. It's actually the opposite, is that we're so we're handcrafted, we're made very carefully, that the way we are created very carefully and very beautifully, so that we have empathy and compassion for everyone, and they don't understand that. When I'm kind to people, for example, they think I'm trying to manipulate them. When people are kind to me, I don't think they're trying to manipulate me, but I know that it's not genuine. I'll put it that way, all right? So I just thought it was funny, today's message. I thought I wanted to share that, it's like so much competition and so much, people, again, like I talked about in my previous video, people are so in tune to the system and the matrix that they don't even want to, they're asleep. They have no understanding of who they actually are. They have no understanding of their identity. They don't know what it feels like to actually be in pain or suffer because of being genuine, being persecuted for being who they are. And people like me, yes, that's what we go through on a daily basis, okay? I'm sure you've gone through it, and maybe you're going through it right now, but it's like we got to be careful. We got to move differently. We got to, places we go to, we got to be careful where we go, what time we go, who we talk to, where places we frequent. We don't want to be in the same place too much, because then the cashiers, or the personal experience, if I go to the same grocery store or the same gas station too much, this happened about a year ago, the clerks get way too comfortable with me, and then scenarios start to happen where they begin to ask very personal questions, and it's like once they think they have a piece of you, they're entitled to everything about you, because my energy is so high, my frequency is so great. And this is before I discovered my what I'm here to do. This is before I discovered SR. This is before I discovered meditation. All right, and people were already trying to get a piece of me, and that's, like I said, it's not in me, it's not on me, it's in me. And same for you. It's not on you. It's nothing you own, nothing you wear, nothing what your skin looks like, okay? It's what's in you. You walk into the room, like I'm about to go into a public place right now because I got stuff to do, and the second I walk in, all right, this has been happening actually recently. I walk in and the people behind the counter, they start like out of nowhere to start like talking to me. And I put an earbud in and I just act like I don't hear him, but this never happened 6 months ago. So I'm beginning to see that people are beginning to get very comfortable with me, And that's a problem, because once people get comfortable, if I still keep to myself and try and mind my own business to keep winning, they don't like that. So then they're going to send monitoring spirits to come check on you and kind of like try and get up in your frequency and try to get up in your business and create scenarios to where they have to interact with you. Like, I've had this happen to me before. I've had people drop stuff right in front of me, and I know they did it on purpose so that they could look up and talk to me, like an excuse. I've had people pretend like they don't know where a power outlet is, so they can ask if they can plug, like they can talk to me and ask if they can plug their computer in my power outlet. I've had people pretend they need help with things I don't really need help with. This especially is true for women. They'll ask me for help and I know they don't need help, so I have to really navigate that very carefully. And because I don't help them, but I try and make sure that I let them know that I see they're very capable and they're a very good person, they can do it themselves. And some like it, some are accept that, and some do not like that at all. So it's just the people who, so that's part one of this message, is that people who, everybody feels like they're more important than you, and they're always trying to one up you. And yes, you matter as a person, I matter, everyone else matters out there in the matrix. You have to love yourself, but these people have too much ego, too much pride, all right, and to a point where they're become entitled, all right. So that's part one, is that they feel like they're more important and they're always trying to one up, okay, one up us, one up me. And this part two is that people become way too comfortable with me, and then they want to be entitled to my energy. They want to be entitled to your energy. And the second you keep to yourself and you decide to choose you, they don't like that. They take that as rejection, okay? And they take that as rejection, and so they get nasty. So you could be minding your own business. You could say, oh, thank you very much, I appreciate you, I'm busy, I got stuff to do right now. They hate that because you're rejecting them, but in a very polite way, so that they can't. But if the roles were reversed, they would expect me to walk away right there. But when the roles are where I'm telling them I'm busy, but thank you, I appreciate you, they cringe and they hate that, because it's me telling them. Like I said, it's not on me, it's in me. It's because if the next guy next to me told them that, they wouldn't care. But since I'm doing it, for some reason, well, I know the reason, but in their head, okay, for some reason, they don't like, it's not acceptable because I'm the one telling them that. And that's, like I said, that's why we gotta avoid public places if we can help it. And I don't go to malls, I don't go to restaurants. I go to restaurants to eat alone, but sometimes, but only when it's before closing, so that the restaurant's almost empty. If I do like grab a coffee, I usually will go to a gas station and get it, do those little dispenser machines, or I'll go to Starbucks and do drive-through, so that I'm not standing in the lobby interacting with 25 people at 7 a.m. Because people around here love their coffee, okay? And including me. But because people have no inherent self-worth, they have no inherent self-love, it's all tied to things they own, things they wear, the new phone they have, the latest gadget tech they have, the latest their girlfriend's so hot, or their boyfriend is super hot and talented and stuff. So they tie their identity and worth to that. They don't really look inside. Like I heard another motivational speaker, I don't remember his name, but I heard him say once, he said I don't remember his name. I'm sorry guys, I wish I remembered who he was. I saw him though. He was a speaker on a YouTube clip I came across. But anyways, he said the message he gave that stood out to me was, I've been single for years, but it's not that I don't want to be in a relationship, but finding that wholesome, non-toxic is pretty much non-existent anymore. And this speaker stood out to me because he said the question he wanted to ask was, who are you without the relationship? That was the question. Who are you without the relationship? And I know I'm kind of switching tangents here, but people tie their worth to things they wear, things they own, the car they drive. Like I said, the things they own, the house they live in, you know, the city they live in, the hot girlfriend, the great boyfriend, you know, they tie their worth to that. So when the person leaves, they're empty and they're broken because they lost their other half. Well, like the person said, who are you without the relationship? I'm going to change that a little bit, and I'm going to say this. Who are you without that fancy car? Who are you without that fancy house? Who are you without the latest iPhone, 18, 19? Who are you without that, 6-foot guy with, making 80, 90K a year? Who are you without that gorgeous woman who, makes you feel like a king, all right? Who are you without the money, the bank account? Who are you without all those things? And if I took away, I never would do this, but if I took away, some these things people have, hypothetically here, okay? If I took those things away, if those things were taken away, okay, I'll just say that, those people would be lost. They'd be in a pity party. They'd be, telling everyone they know about how sad and broken they are now. And it's kind of like that guy Diogenes, the philosopher or the cynic, I think. He had nothing and he was super happy. He was at peace. He was free, all right? So the story goes. It's like, who are you without those things? Who are you without trying to be important? Who are you without the image? Okay, that's a really good question, actually. Who are you? Who are these people? Need to understand that they need to go and ask themselves, who am I without this image of trying to look important and look like I did something in the world and look like I have the status and I have the house and the family and the all these college degrees and the job, and I'm plugged into the matrix and I'm a good man, I'm a good woman. Who are you without that? Like, I was telling someone a while ago that we need to drop that image. Let go of being the good woman, the good man. No, you don't go to bed at night saying, another good man hits the pillow, another good woman goes to sleep. No, it doesn't work that way, all right? You just need to understand that no matter how good and kind and empathetic and a follower of God that you are, nobody cares. The world doesn't care. In fact, you'll be punished for it, okay? That's what I'm experiencing all the time. The spiritual warfare is rampant. What you got to understand is, who am I as I'm pushing through, as I'm being punished for following God, for being who I am, for seeing my identity, for actually rebuilding my ego in a healthy way to where I am nothing so that I can be something, right? So yeah, that's the message I have. Please like the video, send a comment, and subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Be that new subscriber, okay? Like the video, and until next time.